And they've got some great heroes to follow up on it as well. They've got the Elder Titan with his Earth Splitter and Stomp. They've got Pango even being able to swashbuckle from a distance. And let's not forget about the OG Hobson Zeus, which is going to be a mid-matchup against maybe's Gyrocopter. And they're going to run the rotation from F1's line. So they know he's somewhere behind. Their teamwork and
it's so easy to win that vision battle. That's why
Anchor Smasher, no. And as long as he can get those bashes, it's still going to be an incredible amount of damage. Thinking about chasing down Jerix, just places down the rim.
And the type of rotations that he wants to make into the enemy jungle. We saw that so often in the series against EG, in fact, when he played the Tiny and he just found the TB over and over again.
Yeah.
This ward vision isn't really meant to protect mid so much as it is meant to protect the jungle and Ame's lane, in fact.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Thompson, more than any other core, invades that jungle area. So they want to make sure that they spot him coming the entire way through.
And I've noticed before, like, Thompson Zeus, he's very reliant on being able to pick up power runes and bounty runes as well. So those sort of rotations are going to be spotted out by these observer wards, at least the top half. And just by process of elimination, X-Nova, he's still blocked in, trying to intuitive retreat, that's still not good enough. Maybe is here. They're going to try and get the kill onto Jerix. They trade out X-Nova, run over by the Remnant. With the rotation coming out, OG isn't going to be too sad about it. They trade support for support, and required maybe to make rotation like that.
Yeah, but maybe he's trying to protect his top lane area. He's focusing on that so much because he doesn't want his jungle to get invaded. Seth gonna get stunned up. I would anticipate PSG.LGD to continue to grow up to this top lane, protect this area. Don't let this tower fall. The game feels so bad about playing against him. And look at this. This is the ward that I was talking about that you were trying to protect. Protect the jungle against OG. Don't let them get in here for free.
That's why X-Nova is kind of positioned to be able to break smoke.
Oh, he was there to break the smoke, and he
now
takes
he's
him.
going to more, and now Jerix is going to try to take the lead. They're going to turn his Twitter full Jerix. This is just a beauty of a team fight. More OG picking this up on his side. Pulling the one. Nailed it. Top to finish off Lightning as well. OG just perfectly execute that fight, and LGD fall. The all-end-all of team fights, but you simultaneously said it's like, it's their only form of initiation.
Yeah, that's why I don't think the game is that over as Dota Plus things. I think it's closer to probably like 60-40, if I had to guess, because I feel like PSG.LGD's lineup, they have multiple ways to begin a fight, and at the top level, I feel like that determines a lot. Whoever can start a fight first, it makes their lineup so much easier to play. Yeah. It's not impossible to play OG's lineup. The execution in their late game, and they just have to weather through the storm in the next coming moments. I think it's both. I feel like what they're trying to do is match OG's timing. OG is just very timing-based team. Once they get their 2 or 3 items, they just want to run at you and fight, fight, fight. I think PSG.LGD, what they're trying to do is weather that storm, and by going for the BKBs, you give yourself the best chance at actually being able to team fight 5-on-5, because I feel like that's what a lot of teams lack, is the ability to engage OG on their terms. That's what we saw EG falter in Game 2 and Game 3 when they took that Terrorblade and the Anti-Mage. They just never had any opportunities to straight up 5-on-5.
Is that intentional? Look intentional.
Crowd having a little bit of fun with this pause right now, as so are the players. And I love to see the fact that LGD, we obviously saw in some of the documentaries and such, that it did get into LGD's head. All the chat will knows that, right? There is a psychological
Where are you watching?
to go into.
You don't think they've muted each other by now?
And I mean, I like the fact that LGD is playing along. Whether or not they've muted OG and are just, spamming out chat wheel, hoping that they see it. But I like the fact that they're doing it just as much as OG is.
You got to, you got to face your fears, right? You can't run from them. You know that OG's doing it. You can't let it bother you.
And what better way to do it with tons of fans and friends supporting you here in Shanghai.
I can't believe both teams, by the way, have made it back.
I know, it's just so insane because we always talk about the marker, right, of the first player to be able to win an international twice. And that the fact that it hasn't happened yet, 8 years of internationals, now on our 9th, the fact that it hasn't happened yet goes to show how hard it is to maintain that dominance in the Dota 2 field. But the competition level is so high. He's farming really fast too. Like, even though he went for the straight BKB and not one of those farming items, he will have an Aghanim Scepter very soon. That's going to make this Gyro extremely tanky.
I think these BKBs were more picked up so in case there is a team fight, but so you can secure these towers.
Yeah.
When you do these tower pushes, OG, they'll see the smoke with the Zeus ulti.
How do you
get active in the lanes fast?
Once you have that kind of play where you smoke up, you have an idea of what you want to go for. And something like this happens where your smoke is spotted out. Do you adapt? Do you keep on going for what your original
I think you get vision now.
Okay, you just use this moment to be able to get vision instead of fighting.
The 5-on-5. And you saw for a second they were there as 4 and they're like, wait, the wrong hero is not here.
Yeah.
Anytime FY shows in a lane like that, OG's gonna smoke up and take a fight. Anytime maybe shows in a lane like that, OG will smoke up and take a fight.
Yeah, because the disables are so effective against the OG heroes, right? Faces Void, you've got this Pango who can't really swashbuckle forward, has to just rely on Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of a mistake by FY, showing in that top lane. As soon as you showed in that top lane, it makes it really hard for the rest of PSG.LGD to be down in that bottom area.
Now, Blitz, a lot of people are going to say, well, what do you mean mistake? Because nothing bad happened. We actually didn't lose any heroes as a result. Why was that bad for PSG.LGD?
Because I think they wanted to take that fight. I think they want to be in that bottom area and continue to protect their ward. If you notice, as a result of that happening, they instantly lost this ward down here at bottom. Being able to protect that ward and take a fight around that, because they place 2 sentries too, you know that OG, they don't have any vision in that camp. Like, you'll win the vision advantage in that fight alone.
Yeah.
And being able to fight with vision is so important for your cores.
And now they're really fractured, right? As they retreated back, they naturally, like some of them,
this is what
their triangle, and this is what OG is trying to take advantage of. They know, okay, they retreated. Highly unlikely they all 5-man back to the same side.
It's a little bit awkward for them because now, whenever you have to back out like that, like you said, I really like that point, it leaves an opening. Yeah. Naturally, somebody is going to go in a different direction.
You have to be crazy disciplined as a team to, like, 5-man back in that situation. Like, sure, if you're hitting high ground, everyone knows, back together, nobody TP away, will really cancel this and replace it.
Oh, that was such a sick trap. By getting punished for that now, losing the bottom tier 2 tower, you can put even pressure. And this is the worst thing as a Nature's Prophet. Once you lose your tier 2 towers, the potential for trading racks is always available to them. And because you have this Ember Spirit, it's even harder to just go for a 1-for-1 rack trade.
Right.
So if PSG.LGD feels stronger, they'll just go for it.
And they should be picking up the pace right about now. They just got their Radiance. They know they're still going to go for it right now. There's no better time to go for it, and that's why they're just trying to, they're not going for the kill at all, but they're just trying to push Chalice back, make him so he's low enough, he doesn't feel comfortable leading an engagement. They push out mid, which is going to make this smoke a little bit more obvious. They use the Orchid onto Ame. He's obviously fine. He will hold on to his BKB charge as well. PSG.LGD, they're going to be spotted. Thunder God's Wrath, just as we were talking about that mid lane push, pushing Chalice back, pushing the wave in, makes that obvious. They read exactly where PSG.LGD is put. LGD still going to go for it. His Chalice going to wrap around with FY behind the tier 1 tower. He's going to jump for it. Catching no tail. Long already. He's going to hit FY as well as stuff. And they're going to be able to bring down one support at least. Chalice left in an awkward position here, but maybe focusing on that objective. OG, let's be skittish about taking the fight. You've got 15 seconds on the chronosphere, and that's why not immediately going to jump in the side ground. He's going to use the ult there. Doesn't actually get out. Now they only manage to finish up Derek. They're going to jump over the triangle where Thompson is sitting on. They're going to try and help out more Thompson here. Use Thunder onto himself. Jarvis trying to keep away from Mando. And all that physical damage. Chrono's back. Just came out. They're on himself. Finish up Mando. Mando will finish off the gyro in turn. Ame, he does have a lot of damage. So with that Radiance, can they chase down Ame? Seven still strong. Change. Then to go for the support. He's got Steph.
And use that Roshan to get even more map control. Grab this tier 2 tower at bottom, then diverge onto this mid lane.
Because you are going to feel like really good once you have that Satanic.
Yes.
Right? So
I think they really need to make that play on the side of OG. Go for some sort of 5-man, try to get the cores. If you can find the Ember Spirit doing this playstyle. The problem is, normally you get one moment where you can trick somebody and they forget about how they can die.
It's alive. And we don't think you're going to fight us for this.
They got to wait out Chrono too. 10 seconds left, so it is going to be up. PSG.LGD, because they've got this this Satanic, I think they feel a little bit too overconfident. They've got to be careful. If this Faceless Void engages, he's looking for the angle right now. He sees 2 cores for the time being. but both teams just playing around this area. Both loath to just give it up.
Roshan is getting so low bit by bit that eventually someone's going to fully commit to it. And we're going to get the pick off. That's going to start with FY. Now the Orchid onto the Tidehunter to prevent any sort of Ravage. As the OG did get a little bit too close. Watermelon.
Ana making way up.
Making sure to use that mobility to their advantage. You see Seth pushing in bottom lane. This is an opportunity for him to take the tier 2. With no boots of travel, Ame has a tough time being able to deal with this. He's going to run to bottom lane, but are they going to pull back?
He's got to commit to it right now if he's going to do it.
He does have TV scroll up. He's going to commit now with a stomp, landing on a 3. Can maybe finish this one up solo. Impressive play by OG to be able to bail out Anna and still get out. But still, a big win for PSG.LGD as they managed to just finish up Roshan just in time. I mean, the balls are maybe there to say, I'm going to pop EKB and I'm finishing up this Roshan, even as Anna's buying back and trying to TP in.
Oh, that was so rough. I actually thought that fight was going to go okay for OG. After they went on Thompson and Thompson outplays them, duels into the blink. He dodges the Ravage. He goes right. The Ember Spirit think he walked up. It looked really good. And then Anna was never able to get his Chronosphere off in that engagement. He just didn't really see a good opportunity. He wasn't able to keep up with his Zeus. So they weren't able to layer their damage together. As we're going to see again, he drops the Chronosphere. He thinks about running in, but he knows that's a trap. FY, he's ready with the stun.
I mean, maybe if he had been able to time walk actually into the pit, he was just there a second faster. Time walks into the pit, gets off the Chronosphere. Sadly, level 20 talent just wasn't quite enough. I thought Seth was dead here for sure.
Nice BKB usage. Gets the Sprout just around his body.
And it's always tough. You've seen it time and time before. These late game Furions, nobody wants to be able to hold on to a Quelling Blade this late. FY and Chalice are the only ones who have it here. Oh, no, never mind. X Nova has it as well. Butterfly up next for our Gyrocopter. And this is going to be some serious momentum for PSG.LG. It's funny, though, that win probability still heavily favoring OG. And I think even after that fight, it may still be in their favors. Yeah, 66%. Again, the late game of the Basis Void and trying to go high ground against that, as well as the ET, the Zeus, the mobility of the Furion. The list actually goes on and on how good high ground defense is for OG.
I still think this game is slightly PSG.LGD favored.
Yeah.
I'm not really willing to... I think this game is pretty coin flip. OG's lineup, the way that it functions is if they do win one team fight, they're going to push in the lanes real quick. They've got the filter, they've got an AC, their heroes hit towers very well. But I feel like right now, PSG.LGD, they should win most of the team fights. It's a lot easier for their Ember Spirit to get his damage off as opposed to Thompson, who's got to play constantly on retreat. Like, he has to rely on Anna to get that Chronosphere off, and when he doesn't, you see how weak their lineup looks.
So we have with the side device being finished up by Seth. Ame is already trying to address that with an Aeon Disc for his own. So
they do have a Hex now on Seth. That's a big item pickup for him.
So that's why he's trying to go for that Aeon Disc, because the BKB may not be enough anymore.
Dire's middle tower.
He still needs to be able to address that split push from OG, even if they have the team fight locked in, especially with the Aegis on maybe right now. They have to make sure they are not outmaneuvered by OG, because they've done that so many times in the past and so many times after this international as well. Part of what their aggression, why it looks so good, right, is being able to, first of all, put the enemy team in the wrong place, wrong part of the map, then force that fight, a shadow play. Seb just to help him get that sacrifice off.
It's good damage too, and it helps him so that he can deal with these stragglers. He doesn't have to pop his BKB just to get kills. There is a gem pickup almost immediately by X-Nova. I think they're feeling the lack of wards right now. Like I think they've accepted that they're never going to get wards out for very long, but they also have to take away OG's vision if they can. That's where OG's lineup is still pretty potent.
It's so hard against a Furion, right? Sometimes you just give the wards to the Furion, even if he's core, and he goes out, playing some Jerix with his swashbuckle, allowing him to get to places that most supports can as well.
Yeah, we saw in the pre-game stats, by the way, OG used such aggression, but this time, and they played against each other so often, that they've slowed down the pace. They know that all it really comes down to is the team fights.
Thundergod's Wrath going off, just making sure that LGD can't really challenge for this bounty room. And that'll allow OG to be able to get 3 out of the 4. Even against an Aegis. Goes to show, like, PSG.LGD are still going to be a little bit timid about taking fights against OG. Especially as they're split around the map. The Rolling Thunder going off. Does manage to knock on back Snowball. Dead line being finished off as well. 2 different kills like this would be massive. They do have Ame coming in, but immediately the BKB from Seb, they know 2 pickoffs on the supports. As long as nobody dies here, they're going to do a long jump in. The Aghanim Scepter Spirit to be able to chase down No Tail, but No Tail managed to get off as well. Onto Ame. Ame can stop with double damage, especially with Chalice and Baby joining him in the mid lane.
And
So
the split
they will
push
trade
continues.
1
Top to that top lane. Seb towards bottom. If you can't fight him, extend the game until you find opportunities where you can.
Especially with these level 25 talents coming in. Hannah has his Chronosphere 8 week. We've got.
I know there's no BKB, but no vision either.
Yeah. Most effective late game Shadow Blades. It's always tough for cores to carry vision.
Yeah, that's why Nature's Prophet, it doesn't feel awful, even though you can't team fight too well. Sprout is going to get much better as the game goes on. Your Shadow Blade will get
Got the 20 strength for the Pangolier. Now off of the buyback around Roshan, and LGD know about that.
Yeah, there was no one near him. And it just decided to step forward.
And now Seb's going to do everything he can to try and force the attention to the side lanes rather than that mid lane where PSG.LGD is barely down. But that's where Ame comes into play. And has a